come together right now over me.
The Nutrition Services main office is just one piece of many that make up the Nutrition Services Department. The Nutrition Services Department presides over various grants, including National School Lunch Program, Child and Adult Care Food Program, Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program, and Summer Food Service Program. Each one of these programs requires careful management, monitoring, and support. The main office staff is an integral part of that process. This office handles many various tasks for the nutrition programs. It is a part of the support system, answering calls and emails regarding various questions and issues for parents, as well as school personnel. The main office supports all of our department's software and hardware, both with routine maintenance and issue support. The main office staff also handles all of the free and reduced applications for the district, both paper and online submissions, as well as direct certification of students. They are responsible to ensure that students are assigned the proper status. To give you an idea of the scope, over 39,000 students had been processed by the end of October for the 16-17 school year. Child and Adult Care Food Program, or CACFP, enrollment forms, as well as various snack forms, are submitted to the main office for review. The main office receives all invoices from our direct vendors, which includes bread, pizza, milk, laundry, and chemicals. These invoices are reviewed for signatures and correct pricing, keyed into our financial system, and submitted for payment. This office also handles requisitions for most of the orders for food and supply. The main office tracks the department's financial information and is responsible for compiling all of the department data in order to file the various claims with the Kansas Department of Education, or KSDE. The department's payroll is another of the many tasks that are supported by the main office staff. Changes to positions, locations, and various other payroll-related information are submitted through the main office. All of the training for the department is officially recorded by this office staff. The main office staff is also responsible for entering and maintaining over 850 different inventory items into the inventory software, ensuring that they are set up correctly. The staff also performs the forecasting data pull, which is the foundation step of the overall forecasting process. This is where the raw data is pulled for the next school year and merged together to use in ordering food and supplies. The main office works very hard to ensure that their efforts help our department run as smoothly and efficiently as possible, working with nutrition staff as well as other departments.
The Food Production Center office processes meal orders, change requests, cancellations, hot shots, supply orders, and box lunch requests to ensure that the correct amount of food and supplies are being sent to our satellite schools. Every day, Melanie reviews meal counts in OneSource for our 64 satellite schools, totaling over 1,355 menu items per day. While reviewing these counts, she verifies that each school has ordered the appropriate amount of food by the correct shipping units. She also receives many requests for meal count changes through emails and phone calls. Melanie and Deb work together to process all of these changes in a timely fashion. Every day, Deb processes pick tickets for our satellite schools. She begins working on them up to 4 days before the scheduled menu date. This process can take her anywhere from 1 to 5 hours per day, depending on the number of changes she needs to make. Occasionally, we have to make menu substitutions due to late shipments or food shortages. This is one example of a change that she makes. Depending on the complexity of the change, it can take her several hours to make one change. Deb also processes the cancellation forms our office receives. Each year, we receive approximately 1,070 cancellation forms for various menu items, totaling over 3,200 cancellations. Once all changes have been made, she can print the pick tickets for each school. These are given to our distribution staff to sort for our production teams. In addition to making sure our schools receive the correct amount of food for our students, we also verify that they receive the needed supplies to serve the food. Every day, Melanie receives and processes supply orders from our schools. These orders get sent to our distribution and warehouse staff for delivery. There are many additional daily, weekly, and monthly tasks that our office is responsible for. These are just some of the things we do every day to ensure each and every student receives the nutrition they need to learn and grow.
Like an Oscar award-winning director, the Nutrition Services Administration team does a lot behind the scenes to make our school meals production a success. We make sure that all of our programs in our schools are meeting federal guidelines as well as following state and local regulations. This requires a lot of paperwork and visits to the schools to ensure regulations are being followed. We all work together to prepare our schools for audits from the Kansas State Department of Education or Kansas Department of Agriculture. In addition to being the productions director, the Nutrition Services Administration team also contains screenwriters, also known as menu planners. Planning the menus for the schools is a team effort. Once menus are planned, the team works together to determine what type of food needs to be purchased, how much to purchase, and when the product should arrive. Sometimes there are delays in production, like products not arriving on time or in the quantity we need, so the administration team actively and quickly finds solutions so the students don't notice the glitch. Like all set directors, the NS administration team spends a lot of time with personnel, whether it's hiring new crew members, following up on concerns, disciplining the crew, and planning and development of all in-service materials, like this video you're watching. Nutrition Services Administration team members also have the job of making sure our production is well received by the schools and general public via marketing materials and doing media appearances to promote our programs. As with any big production, most people are unaware of how many parts and pieces must align to make the blockbuster success that is Nutrition Services.
Every week we have scheduled deliveries based upon the menus that are scheduled by the menu planners each year. We ensure that deliveries arrive prior to the menu date. If needed, we adjust delivery dates to make that happen. Once the deliveries are here, multiple things take place. First, we check that the shipment is actually due. Vendors are allowed to ship 1 week early if needed. As the doors are open on each trailer, we take temperatures of the trailer and the products to ensure product safety. As trucks are unloaded, we check product codes and take pictures of labels for uploading into the system. We take label pictures to aid in ensuring product formulations have not changed since the sampling process. We work hand in hand with the supply department to receive our deliveries. We count alongside each other as a double check. Once the invoices are signed, the product is ready for storage. Every morning we have a group that gets together. Davey and Bill from the warehouse staff meet with members from cold production, distribution, and hot production, and the mezzanine office staff to discuss the menu items needed for the next day's loading. This is where shortages are discussed and additional items ordered as needed. This ensures all departments can complete the required tests so all elementary schools receive the right amount of food for their respective school. Once an item is in inventory, it is ready to be used for orders. There are 4 drivers assigned to pull and deliver all middle and high school orders. Each driver has certain schools and items they are responsible for. 2 are assigned grocery and frozen, and 2 are assigned produce and dairy items. They do assist each other as needed to stay ahead on orders. As they pull their orders, they double check each order before it is wrapped and ready for delivery. Mistakes happen from time to time, as we have several products that look alike, and as we hear of those mistakes, we correct them. Each morning before sunrise, these 4 drivers are on the streets of Wichita delivering to their schools. When delivering, they make sure products are delivered at the right temperature to ensure a quality product is ready for use. The other side of our delivery operation is elementary schools. Daily, there are 9 drivers assigned to a route, which is comprised of 7 to 8 schools. Every year, we update each route based on serving times for each school. Once the routes are built, deliveries are ready to be made. Each route has 2 runs. On each run, both hot and cold cabinets are loaded in route order. Each cabinet is zip-tied by distribution to control the safety of the food loaded inside. When the cabinets are checked by the food servers at each school, this zip tie shows them the food has been secured. As the hot and cold cabinets are delivered, each cabinet is placed in the kitchen along with plugging in the hot box. If the hot cabinet is not working, they coordinate a repair or replacement, ensuring temperatures are maintained. Every day, each driver returns to almost all of the schools they are assigned and pick up cabinets and paperwork and return to FPC. Once back at FPC, they unload their respective truck. This aids in all items used for the day are cleaned and sanitized for the next service day.
The daily hot food production. The hot food production team produces a daily average of 21,000 portions of hot food for the children of Wichita Public Schools. Each day begins at 4 a.m., sometimes earlier. Chili is a big deal for the team. We produce an average of 950 gallons in one production, serving all satellite schools and all secondary schools. The favorite entree of the students is chicken nuggets. On a chicken nugget day, we can produce 4,300 pounds of nuggets, or about 18 portions. There are 17 dedicated members of the hot food production team.
The coal production team is one of several important contributors to the daily food production cycle at FPC, contributing to the over 21,000 total meals served per day. Utilizing its 8 highly qualified team members, the coal production department is an instrumental part of the production process, helping to create the efficiencies necessary to ensure that product quality and quantity measures are met. Responsible for preparing over 10,000 sealed items per week, from chef and Kansas salads to pizza cheese cups and diced turkey, the team utilizes state-of-the-art equipment to provide not only a great-looking product, but also serves to ensure that both safety and HACCP guidelines are maintained. Another juicy fact about the coal production team is that they cut and bag over 11,000 oranges per week, keeping students and guests loaded with essential vitamin C by delivering a fresh fruit product that is a sure complement to any healthy lunch. Have you ever seen hundreds of donuts or muffins delivered to your site for parents or events? Well, if you did, you can bet that the coal production team had a hand in preparing those orders. In fact, the coal production team fulfills, on average, 10 catering orders per week during the school year, with a considerable increase in cookie and juice orders during December and May.
For a number of the 17 distribution employees, their day starts early in the morning at 4 a.m. The remaining employees arrive between 5 and 6. The distribution department is responsible for loading all the 675 cold and 350 hot cabinets per week. Depending what is on the menu, their day will begin by bringing product out of the walk-in to load. All the dry products were loaded the day before. Many ice blankets, blue packs, and trays are needed on any given day. When chef salads amount to around 6,000 per one-day delivery, that means the department will need 1,000 trays, 500 blue packs, and 500 ice blankets just for that one item. The hot dock has only 3 employees to load the 9,154 pounds of hot food per week. A typical morning starts with turning on all the hot cabinets, setting the temperatures, and placing the pick tickets on the cabinets. Loading is ready to begin. Taking and recording temperatures, checking and locking up the carriers is the end of the loading cabinet. After a short break, the employee will go to the warehouse to bring in all the empty cold cabinets and place them back in the production area to start loading for the next day. Cold carrier labels, pick tickets, and loose box count sheets are placed on the cold carriers. Over a period of 1 week, the department can load 24,590 pounds of cans and 264,446 items in the cabinets. Sorting pick tickets, recording and checking product, doing returns to the warehouse and freezer, daily inventory meeting, or all other responsibilities thrown into their day. Then to add some excitement, they will coordinate, set up and tear down, and help produce box lunches throughout the year.
The Special Diets Department at FPC produce and package meals for our students with severe food allergies that cannot eat from our regular menu. and for students that need a texture modification, such as pureed or ground foods. Modified texture meals are prepared in advance and portioned out for each student. These meals are labeled with the student's name and sent to their schools to be reheated on site. Students with food allergy that cannot avoid their allergens with our regular menu options are sent a full or partial substitution. Some days they will receive a whole meal, while other days they might only receive a grain item or other component. The small department of only 2 cooks and 1 technician produced over 7,400 modified texture meals and made allergy substitutions about 13,000 times in just the last school year. The number of students needing accommodations vary every year, but in general, this number is steadily increasing. Currently, there are over 16,000 students with a meal modification on file with Nutrition Services, but many more students choose to manage their allergy without the help of our department. With the variety of options available every day, it is possible for some students to avoid their allergens without substitutions using the menus and resources created by the dietitian. Menus and information on common allergens are made available to the public on the Nutrition Services website.
When you think of a custodian for the school district, you envision a person in one of our many schools sweeping the hall, cleaning a classroom, or putting the tables up in the gym after lunch. For the most part, this is true. But at the Food Production Center, we also have custodians, but our job has a different twist. Our main job is to help keep the kitchen clean and help it to run efficiently. This is where the traditional custodial comes in. The non-traditional part is we run the dish machine that washes 2,000 to 3,000 pieces of pans, trays, and lids that comes back from the school each day. We also wash all the trays and pans lunches are cooked on. To make all the pieces of the puzzle come together, we work with other departments like hot production, distribution, and truck drivers. One of our odd jobs is to clean all the hot and cold cabinets that the food is delivered in. Did I mention that our custodians are also FSAs too? Another of our job is taking the returns out of the cold cabinets and getting it back to the returns section. We also help mail and cancellation slips get to the right place.
Wichita Public Schools has 335 nutrition service employees in 86 school buildings serving breakfast and lunch to the students. Each school is unique, so some staff work in large kitchens while others work in small, tight areas. With the passage of the bond, many of these areas have been remodeled, making a huge difference for students and staff. Secondary school nutrition services staff is led by the cafeteria managers and the food service aide 3s. Each school has varying number of additional food service aides who help prepare and cook the food for the secondary students, whereas at the satellite schools, food is received already cooked from the Food Production Center. Nutrition Services school staff are the face of our program. They interact with our external customers daily. They have a large responsibility to always represent our department in a positive way. External customers served include more than just the students. They also include the parents, the teachers, the custodians, principals, Nutrition Services delivery drivers, the Highland Milk drivers, Nutrition Services administration, and the FPC staff. Not only are the Nutrition Services staff at schools the face of our program, but they also carry the responsibility of ensuring the food looks appetizing, it is displayed attractively, has the right portion control, and meets the food safety regulations. They must also guarantee that students are taking the right components to meet the USDA's reimbursable meal standards when they are served the food or do point of sale. Nutrition Services Department receives federal funds for the meals that are served.
Students are our primary customer, and without them, we would not be here. Many students consume at least half of their meals at school, and for many of our students, food served at school is the only food they regularly eat. With more than 32,000 students participating in our school lunch program and 13,000 students participating in our school breakfast program, good nutrition at school is more important than ever. Not only are students nourishing their bodies with the meals we serve, they have the ability to learn about and try different foods through our programs.
Come together right now over me.
When the nutrition services puzzle is all put together from all the pieces you saw in this video, we make a team that provides healthy, nutritious, great tasting food with excellent customer service.
The team will go home at the end of the day exhausted and satisfied, knowing they are feeding the children of USD 259.